Okay, so we are now recording our lesson. We are looking at the packet for week 2. It had the passage of the shepherd boy on it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all so you can see the passage. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can see the passage on your screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the passage on your screen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. 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 Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Michaela. So I did questions 1 and 2 for you as the I do on the YouTube video. Then I acted like you all were there with me for the you do. So looking at the you do, we would have had, again, our answers, our questions boxed and underlined. Let's look at Coyote in Columbia first. You were asked to complete questions 5 and 6 for your you do. So for the central message, what the author wanted the reader to learn? Remember, we had to have our PSL chart. So who can raise their hand using the button on here and tell us what the problem in Coyote in Columbia was? Who remembers what the Coyote in Columbia problem was? Who remembers? Coyote and Columbia problem. If you need to go back. Okay, Tavion, do you know? Okay, I'm gonna, go ahead.
She was very hot.
Yeah, so the first there were 2 problems, right? The first problem was that Coyote, why is that in all caps? Coyote was really hot. Good job. Janisha, what was the second problem in the story other than the fact that he was really hot? What did Coyote keep doing?
He kept on asking for cloud, rain, and more stuff.
Yeah, he kept asking for more and more. Awesome job, Janasia. So we're going to say that problem also is he kept asking for more. So what was the solution? If he kept asking for more and more and more, he was trying to get what? Who knows what he was trying to get? We know he was really hot. We know he kept asking for more and more and more. Michaela, Dixon?
She was trying to get some rain.
And what is rain going to do to him?
Make him what?
Right? And if you're really hot, it'll also make you really
cool.
Yes. So the solution was Coyote kept asking for ways to cool down. Okay, so I'm going to be pausing sometimes because people are still joining our session. They might be getting kicked out for some reason. So if I pause, just take that time for you to write this down on your packet if you don't have it written down. Again, if you need the packet with Coyote in Columbia, just have your parent text me on Reminds, and then I will be able to help them. So what was the lesson? What did Coyote learn? He kept asking for more, and he was really hot. So what can we take from Coyote to teach us something? What do you think? Coyote was very something. What was he? Sanaya?
He was very greedy.
How do you know he was greedy?
Because he kept asking for stuff.
Uh-huh. So our lesson is don't be greedy. Good. Now, based on what Sanaya has told us, it says what evidence in the text. I'm going to underline where it says evidence. Or, you know what? I'm going to box it actually, because that is going to be our one of our main words there, evidence. And we're going to box the words central message. Okay, I'm boxing evidence and central message because my evidence is going to be an action taken or a word said within my text, and I'm going to mix it with what I learned. So watch. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I am going to, sorry, okay, I'm going to draw an arrow from my lesson to central message, because my central message is the lesson or the moral of the story. Now, which one of these actions is showing that he was super greedy based on what Sanaya told us the lesson was? We know the lesson was not to be greedy. We know that he kept asking for things to help him cool down. So what would the best answer for number 6 be? Best answer. Sophia, what do you think?
I think it is B because it says if you keep an accent for something, you'll get it, but only like sometimes you might get it.
Right. So we have our lesson of not to be greedy for question 5, right? So question 5, our answer is D. Let me boost. Because it says we shouldn't be greedy, right? Now, looking at question 6, how do we know that he was greedy? What was he doing to show us that he was greedy? We know he kept asking for things, right? So what happened because he kept asking for specific things? What do y'all think? Use your button on your screen to raise your hand so I can call on you that way. Anthony, what do you think that answer would be?
B.
For number 6?
Yes.
Okay, well yes, clouds can shade you from the sun, but does that have anything to do with being greedy?
No.
No. So which one is talking about him being greedy? So I see it says the rain became a downpour when the coyote demanded more rain. So that could be a possible answer.
Okay, bye.
Clouds can shade you from the sun. Well, I know that has nothing to do with being greedy. So we can cross off B. The coyote nearly drowned because he continued to ask for things instead of being satisfied with what he was given. Do we know what the word satisfied means? Okay, satisfied means that you're happy with what you have and you don't keep asking for more. So Trayson.
You said we have to raise our hand.
Trayson. Was Coyote satisfied with what he was getting?
No.
No. So could C be a possible answer?
Yes.
Good. Yes, it could be. Very good job. Now, the coyote asked for a cloud and got it. Is that being greedy if you're kind of asking for something you need? What do we think? Aziza? Is he being greedy in answer choice D for number 6?
Yeah, he's being greedy.
Right, but it says the coyote asked for a cloud and got it. Does that have anything to do with being greedy?
No.
No. So now we're between answers A and C. Which one is talking about Coyote being greedy? Is it that he is wanting rain, the rain became a downpour, or the coyote kept asking for things? What do you think? If I'm trying to unmute some of you and I can't tell. So who is LG or Tisto 3 Plus? Is that Kaylee Hunt? Kaylee, go ahead. What do you think the answer is, hon? Looking at A and C, which one is talking about him keeping asking for things? Anyone else? Why are you not unmute, Michaela? Michaela, unmute yourself and answer.
C,
Why is it C?
because it says the coyote narrowly dropped because he continued to ask for things instead of being satisfied with what he was given.
Very good job. Very good job. So we should all have C for answer 6. That question was missed the most, okay? Now I'm going to clear all these and let's look at the second passage, determining morals in fables. So I want you to look at where it says 421:20, determining morals in fables. There, I want you to go ahead and I want you to give me a thumbs up on your. Awesome job, Janaisha. Awesome, Michaela. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Sanaya. Thank you, Andrea and Yolanda. Thank you, Serenity. Thank you, Sean Love Furball III. Thank you, Logan. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Zayana. Okay, now remember, we know a fable is similar to what we read with the shepherd boy and Coyote in Columbia. Fables are short stories that typically use animals as characters to tell us and to teach us something new. So, for example, we had the shepherd boy, we had Coyote in Columbia. Coyote in Columbia told us how the Columbia River came. The shepherd boy taught us a lesson of not to lie and to always be honest. So, going along with fables, we are going to do the same thing. So we're going to do the first one, the ant and the dove together. Well, I'm going to do the ant and the dove together with you. Then we're going to do the dog and his reflection together. You are going to do the boys and the frogs and the fox and the crab on your own. And I'm going to go ahead and send out the Kahoot link for that through Remind. So when you're doing your Kahoot, I am giving you 48 hours to do it. So you'll have until Thursday to complete the Kahoot. But my suggestion is to get it done today when everything is fresh. So remember, this is going to be recorded. So if you need help or if you didn't understand something, I want you to go back to the YouTube link that I'll send you so you can rewatch this video. And then if the video still isn't helping you, have your parent text me on Remind, and then I can set up a little one-on-one Zoom or like FaceTime or Skype thing for you all, okay? Now, the first thing I'm going to do when I have my passage is I am going to box my title, The Ant and the Dove. Now, based on what I'm seeing, I know that this is going to be a fictional text. So I'm going to do an F for fiction. And I'm going to ask myself a question. Who are the ants and the dove? That's the question I'm going to be asking myself, okay? Now, I need to see what my questions are so I can understand what I'm looking for within my text. I see it says the moral is. Okay, well, that's not really a question, but it's still telling me what I need to do. So I'm going to draw an arrow from moral, and I'm going to make a little text box. And I'm going to say moral is the lesson of the story. The moral is the lesson of the story. Go ahead and go ahead and write this all down on your copy. I'm going to give you a few minutes to get this done. And then when you have completed this task, go ahead again and give me a thumbs up or using the emoji on your screen. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Love. Thank you, Kamani. Thank you, Ari. Sanai, I think I saw yours up. Thank you, Michaela and Trayson. Thank you, Janasia. Thank you, Zayana. Thank you, Aziza. Okay, I'm gonna give you about, thank you, Miss Hunt, if you are on the screen, because I'm pretty sure that's you. Okay, 1 second, Janasia. I have to find your screen first. Okay, yes, Janasia, you can unmute yourself.
Are we going to be using the A, B, and C little paper things?
That's only for math. So I guess tomorrow you will with Miss Hallinan.
Okay.
Okay, so we know the moral is the lesson of the story. Anytime, yes, Serenity.
Hmm?
Did you have a question, my dear?
No.
Okay. Can I mute you again then?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so again, I see the word lesson, so I automatically know that I need to make my problem, solution, and lesson for my story. So off to the side, I'm going to make another text box, and I'll do it in another color in case it goes onto the gray, so you'll be able to see it easier. Let's do purple. So I have my problem, my solution, and my lesson. Because again, I need to determine what the author wants me to learn from this situation. So that's going to be in my margin. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and when I am reading, I'm going to underline, we'll use blue, when I see a problem and when I see a solution. I'm not going to see a lesson. That's not going to say, oh, well, the lesson of the story is A, B, and C. Okay, that's what we need to determine. So let's follow along with Miss Stewart as she reads. It says, an ant went to the river to quench his thirst, but the rush of the water carried him away. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I see a few things. First, I see my ant is a character, and I'm sure yours is a lot nicer and above your character of ants. I see river is the setting. And I see a problem. The water carried him away. That's my problem. And again, I'm sure yours is going to be so beautiful because you're using pencil in your packet, whereas I'm navigating on the computer. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you about 45 seconds to get your character, your setting, and your problem. Okay, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep using the same color. So the ant, again, is our character, struggled to save his life. So I would say that's also a problem if he's struggling to save his life, because he obviously does not want to die from drowning. A dove sitting on a tree overhanging the water saw him and immediately took a tree branch and let it fall close to the ants. Okay, our dove is a character. And we are going to say that immediately took a tree branch and let it fall. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Took a tree branch and let it fall close to the ant. That's going to be our solution. If you have any questions so far, go ahead and raise your hand by clicking the raise hand option on your device. Yes, Serenity.
So I see that it says the ant. Are we supposed to put a C above that where you boxed it and put an S right there?
Are you talking about the title? Oh, right here?
Yes.
Oh, no, I was drawing a line saying that was the solution. But yes, anytime you see ant or dove, you're going to put a C above it for character. Good question, Serenity. Janasia, I am coming to you now. Go ahead and unmute, Janasia.
Do we have to have the same question like you?
No, as long as you have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. I can't unmute. Kaylee, I can't unmute you. So if you have a question, Kaylee, go ahead and unmute.
Question.
Yes. What's your question, my love? Or do you not have one?
I don't have. Okay. I don't have. Are you on the dog and the
In his
Is your-
reflection?
Yeah.
Not yet. We're still in the ant and the dove.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You good?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Aziza.
You're glitching.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, she's not.
Okay. Now, let's all remute ourselves and go ahead back to our story, okay? Now, we have, as Serenity pointed out, the ant is a character. So again, we're gonna put a C above ant. Climbed on it and was thus saved from drowning. A few days later, a hunter, Okay, again, character, came and pointed the gun at the dove who was sitting in the same tree. Okay, I see a second problem. A hunter came and pointed the gun at the dove. The ants, character, and we have dove, character, happened to be nearby and perceiving the hunter's intentions, a solution, stung him on the foot. The pain made the hunter miss his aim, while the shot startled the dove and made her fly away. Hunter, character, dove, character. Okay, I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to give you a minute and a half to catch up and get everything written down. So all of your characters should be labeled. Your setting of the river should be labeled. Your 2 problems and your 2 solutions. So the first problem, the ant struggled to save his life. The first solution, the dove took a tree branch and let it fall close to the ants.
What did she say about your project?
And then we have our second problem is the hunter was trying to shoot the dove. And the second solution was the ant stung him in the foot. Take about 20 seconds before we go into our problem solution lesson. Thank you, Janasia. One second, Sanaya. All right, go ahead, Sanaya. Unmute yourself and ask your question, babe.
When like you say we can like copy the stuff down. When we is done, can you put a thumbs up?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so my timer went off, but I'm going to keep going. Janasia, question, yes.
You have missed the ant
Where have I missed an ant?
where it says tree branches and let it fall close to the ant.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Aziza, question. You're okay, say it again because you were muted.
I don't understand what you are writing.
Okay, so that's why when I was reading it, I was telling you. So an ant, C is your character. So every time you see the word ant, A-N-T, above it, you're going to write a C for character.
Okay.
Same with dove. Anytime you see the word dove, you're going to put a C above it for character. Same with hunter, because the hunter is a character. So you know what I'll do? I'll write a little note, a text box for this. Okay, here we go. So here are characters. The first one is the ant. Second one is dove. Last one is hunter. And you should have a C above all of those. Okay, I don't know who iPad is. Hold on. Yes, Jenny.
Hmm?
You raised your hand.
Yes. Are we supposed to put character like you put right there, or that was just an example to show her what?
This is just to show you what characters should be on have to be above them. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a different color for the 2 problems and a different color for the 2 lessons.
Are we gonna write that down?
No, because you should have it underlined. If it's gonna help you, then yes, you can write it down as well.
Okay.
All right, so we have our characters. We have the okay, I'm sorry, love. Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have the raise hand thing. I only have the thumbs up and a clap.
Okay, so you know what we'll do for you? If you have a question, just go ahead and do the clap sign.
Okay.
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 All right, so for our problems, I'm gonna do a different color. So the first problem is that the ants was drowning. So that's the problem. Yes, Kaylee.
For the I just forgot my question.
Okay. All right, the second problem is the dove was being hunted. So those are my 2 problems. The dove was being hunted and the ant was okay, so I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes to copy this down, okay? Yes, Janasia.
What is blue for?
I'm just trying to do differences between the characters and the problems. So the blue is problem.
Okay.
Take about 30 more seconds. Okay, I am going to pause my timer because you have about 5 seconds left. And we are going to write down the solutions, okay? So the first solution was the dove, hello, gave the ants a branch. Second solution was ants did the man hunting dove. Yes, Janasia.
Where am I supposed to write this?
In your margins, wherever you have space. Yes, love. You're on mute, baby. Hold on.
I can't see where you wrote the solution at.
Okay, hold 1 second. You know what? Okay, I'm going to delete the characters. And here's the solution. Is that better, love?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Serenity. You're on mute. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I see a solution, but I don't know if we supposed to underline it or not.
Where, my dear?
It says the ant climbed on it and was thus saved from drowning.
Yeah. So the solution is that the dove came and gave him the branch.
So we're supposed to underline that and put solution by it.
You can just write S, or you can have it off to the side like Miss Stewart does right here.
Okay.
Whichever makes more sense to you, okay?
Okay.
Now, I'm going to make my problem solution lesson chart. I'm going to do it. I'm going to move this. Actually, no, I can't. Okay, I'll type, and then if you can't see, I'll move it for you. So, my problem, I have two problems, right? Ant and dove were both in trouble. That's my problem. My solution is they, meaning ant and dove, helped one another. And my lesson, oh Lordy love, this should be. Okay, and then my lesson would be what? So I'm taking my problem, ant and dove are both in trouble. They helped one another. So that means if I'm going to help someone, they might help me too. Now, I'm going to go through my answer choices for A, B, and C for the ant and the dove. Always speak the truth. Well, if I think to myself, always speak the truth, yes, that's a good lesson for me to learn, but it doesn't have anything to do with what my problem or my solution is, and I didn't see anything in my story about speaking the truth. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cross off A. If you help others, they may help you in return. Well, I know my story was about helping, so I know B can be a possible answer. Always love yourself first. Well, that's not, if I love myself first, that means I might not be able to help someone or get someone to help me if I need it, because I could be being very selfish. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off C. So my answer and my strong possibility would have to be B. Yes, Serenity. Yes, Janasia.
I'm lost.
Okay, hold on one second. Yes, Serenity. Hold on, you're muted. Go ahead.
Are we gonna have a blind answer for our question?
Basically, your problem, solution, and lesson is your blind answer.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, Janasia, go ahead and unmute. Where are you lost at?
Like at the question where it says the moral is.
Okay. So remember, the moral of a story is the lesson, and we're trying to determine the central message or the lesson of the story. So because of that, we had to identify the problem in the story, the solution in the story, and then the lesson in the story. So based on that, I identified my problem as both the ants and the dove were in trouble, meaning the ant was struggling to get to safety, and then later in the story, the dove was struggling because it was about to get harmed, like hurt too, okay? So that was my problem. How did the characters react to that problem? Well, I see the dove went to help the ant when he was drowning by giving him a tree branch to float on. And I see that the ant was able to, and I'll underline this for you also. So the dove took a tree branch and let it fall close to the ant. So then the ant climbed on it. So he basically used it as a floaty. Okay. So that's my solution for how the dove helped the ant when he was in trouble.
So basically it's talking about like how they help each other?
Yes. So that's why your answer would have to be helping others, because it's talking like, just like you said, Janesha, it's all about helping each other. Okay. Now, I am going to walk through the we do with you for a little bit. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to copy this down if you need to, because we're basically out of time. But I'm going to give you a minute and a half to finish copying this down. Then we will quickly go through the we do. I'm going to walk you through like a little bit of it. Then you're going to have the you do, and I will send the Kahoot link out on Remind to your families. So go ahead and take this minute and a half to get this written down. Yes, Sanaya.
Is it okay if like I ask this question?
What's the question, my dear?
My question is it okay if like later on me and my mom switch computers?
I mean, I don't care.
Okay.
As long as you have access to what you need, that's all I care about, okay?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Take about 30 more seconds to copy this down. And again, if you need to, this will be on YouTube for you all to go over if you need it. Sophie, are you raising a hand, hon? Okay, go ahead and unmute. If you need help, I can do it for you. There you go.
My mom is doing work on the computer, so after when she's done with work, then can I do the Kahoot?
Yeah, honey, you have until Thursday at 11 at night to do the Kahoot. Because
Okay.
you know, some of us have older siblings, or some of us have siblings who might need a computer. So I wanted to give you as much time as possible to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel rushed and there's not an issue. And then if you can't get to it on the computer, I want you to just do it on your packet and then have someone at home just send me a picture of your answers, okay?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that question, Soph. All right, I'm going to clear all of this. We're going to look at the dog and his reflection. Okay, when you're doing this, remember that we have to use our strategies. Moral of the story. The moral is the problem solution lesson. A pumpkin spice latte, problem solution lesson, right? I'm going to read this to you. And then here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. I want you to teach this to someone at home like you're the teacher. So you're going to reread the story to them. You're going to identify the problem, identify the solution, and identify the lesson. It'll be like a little practice for you before you go onto independent, okay? So I'm going to read you the we do. Yes, Serenity. You're muted. Hold on. Okay, say it again.
So if like our parents are working, will we have time to do it at night? To
Yeah.
like read
Yeah.
stories?
Yeah. And then I'll have the video up on YouTube, and I'll send that link out too, in case whoever's at home with you might need to watch it again to help understand it a little more, or if you all need to understand it a little more. Yes, Janasia.
So when we're on Cahoots, like when we do it at school normally, is that how we have to do it when we're at home?
Yes.
Okay.
Just click your answer like you typically would. Yes, Aziza.
Like, I don't think I can do it at night, and I don't think I can teach anybody it because none of my siblings would listen.
Well, you could teach it to mom.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you, and then I'm going to send you off to do your we do with someone at home. Okay. The dog and his reflection. A dog crossing a bridge over a stream with a bone in his mouth saw his own reflection in the water. Thinking it was another dog with a bigger bone, he growled and frowned at it, wishing to have that bone too. He then opened his mouth to get the other bone, but at that moment his own bone fell into the water with a splash and the stream swept it away. In the end, he had none. Okay, so remember, I'm going to go ahead and do this for you. Problem solution lesson, okay? Go ahead
I have a question.
and identify your problem, your solution in your lesson. Identify your problem, your solution in your lesson. So we'll start with the problem. If you think you know the problem, go ahead and do a hand raise on your tablet. Yolanda, what do you think the problem is?
I think the problem is that the dog dropped his bone on the water and then it swept away and he had none.
Good. So the problem is the dog lost his bone. Good. What else would another problem be besides the dog losing his bone? What do we think? Who have I not heard from? Ari, what do you think the other problem is? Not only did the dog lose his bone, but what else happened?
He thought there was another dog.
Yeah, and what did he want from that dog?
The bone.
Awesome job. Yeah, he thought there was another dog and he wanted that bone too. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to put the word other in quotations and then I'll move it so you all can see because we know technically it's not another dog. Okay, so let me move this for you all so you can see. You know what? Hold on. Okay, so the problem, the dog lost his bone and he wanted the other dog's bone. So all this right here is the problem. What was the solution? Remember, sometimes the solution isn't always a good or happy or positive thing. Because he wanted the other dog's bone, what happened to his? Because he wanted the other dog's bone, what happened to his? Anthony?
He dropped his in the water.
Yes, very good job. He dropped his in the water. Awesome. You all are doing so well with this. I'm so proud of you all. Now, let's think about what happened, sequence of events, right? We see the dog lost his bone, and that was a problem for him. We also see that he wanted the other dog's bone, even though there really wasn't an other dog. So because of this, we know that he was growling and barking at his own reflection. So because of that, he dropped his bone in the water. What do you think the lesson would be based on the fact that he wanted the other dog's bone and he dropped his in the water? Think about that for a second.
Miss Stewart.
Yes?
It doesn't, wait. Oh, never mind.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Tavion, what do you think the lesson would have to be?
Don't be
Say that one more time, hon.
greedy, or you will not have anything.
Good. And why did you say not to be greedy?
Because he already had a bone and he asked for another one, and
Awesome.
he wanted.
Yeah, and he wanted the one that wasn't his. So he wanted more than he really needed, and he ended up losing it. Now, I want you all to tell me what the answer would have to be and why. You know what I want you to do? Like, make a letter with your hand in the screen. So this could be A, this could be B. That doesn't really look like a B, and then C, okay? So put your answer in the screen so I can see it. So I can make sure every single person has it right. And guess what? No one sees your answer but me. Good job, Serenity. Okay, good job, love. Good, Andrea. Good, Soph. Good, Logan. Good, Sanaya. Good, Michaela. Good, Aziza. Good, Tavion. Good, Kaylee. Good, Trayson. Awesome, Janasia. All right, who can explain to us why the correct answer would have to be C? The correct answer has to be C. What do you think, Nick King? Why does the answer have to be C? Unmute yourself and tell us why.
Because he's greedy.
Yeah, because it's, yep. Yeah, it's talking about greed. Very good job. So I'm going to circle my answer of C because we have greed and greed. Very good job. Ziana, go ahead and ask your question. I can't unmute you for some reason. So I'm going to send you out the Kahoot link, okay? You are going to, one second, Janasia, read The Boys and the Frogs and The Fox and the Crab, okay? So what I did with the Kahoot link is I said the moral of the story in The Boys and the Frogs is blank. Did the same thing with the Fox and the Crab. The moral of the story in The Fox and the Crab is blank. Okay? So you need to do the work on your paper before you answer it in Kahoot, or else you'll never be able to get the question. You'll never know what the question is, let alone get it correct, okay? Janasia, what is your question?
How was he being greedy if the dog wasn't even there?
Okay, so let's think about this, right? He had a bone, okay? Think about kind of like a baby. So babies don't understand that they're looking at their own reflection. So sometimes, okay, so my dog Juju, okay, sometimes he'll look in the sliding glass door of my house and he'll think it's another dog because he's not aware that it's himself because he's still a baby, okay? So the dog in the story thought his reflection was another dog because he wasn't sure who or what it was. So he saw a dog that looked bigger and looked like it had a bigger bone. Because remember, it says thinking it was another dog. Okay? So he's under the impression, he's assuming there's a dog looking at him with a bigger bone, even though it's only himself. Okay? Yeah.
So,
Yes, Janasia, go ahead.
but it says that you could lose everything. It's not that he was being greedy, it's just that he had dropped it.
Correct. Very good job.
My dog barks at other dogs.
I'm sure it does, Trayson.
Bigger dogs than her.
Okay, so you all are going to leave the meeting in just a minute. And then you are going to complete question 3 and question 4 again. So again, I'm going to ask you all to read The Boys and the Frogs in your passage, in your packet. Problem solution lesson, just like we did before. Then do the same thing with The Fox and the Crab. Problem solution lesson, just like we did before. Then go ahead on Kahoot and reading for the day. Okay. Any other questions before I leave you all? Serenity.
Is it like, so we have to label it still, like, so for example, it will say like The Boys and we're gonna put like a C above it for a character?
I would, just because it's going to help you figure out like whose problem it is. If that doesn't make sense to you, you can just do the PSL chart like we've done before. Okay. Good question. Aziza, did you have another question? No? Okay. All right. So I will send that link out through Remind for Kahoots. So well today. I'm so proud of you all for staying on task and focusing on your lesson today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and then I will send that link out to your family through Remind as well, in case you need to rewatch or get anything that you might have missed. If you all have questions after this, have your parents text me or your family members text me on Remind, and I can do my best to answer them. If it's not making sense, I'll just give them a call, okay? All right. Good job, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I miss you all so much.
Bye, Miss Stewart.
Bye. Hi, Miss Stewart.
Love you, Miss Stewart.
Guys, miss you.
Bye.
Miss you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.